Good morning, everyone. Today, if you guys can flip to page 21, we're going to take a look on Corporal Punishment from Moab is My Washpot by Stephen Fry. Um, Josh had this as his presentation today, so he just gave us the basic scraps, the breakdown of it. Um, he lists the subject as the causes and significance of pain in our society, and I think he's Josh pretty close with this, but it's not just the pain in society; it's the pain specifically that children feel, um, not just from corporal punishment, which obviously is the like physical punishment of a child for doing something wrong, but the manner within which we remember childhood trauma. So not just about the physical trauma, but the mental trauma. But what he says we do as a society is concentrate on the physical trauma. As Josh points out, that a lot of this is like from his own personal experiences, going to a prep school where corporal punishment was part of his schooling. Like you guys have grown up in a time where there was no corporal punishment at all. Like I was on that weird in between where some teachers smacked you with a ruler. I mean, I went to Catholic school, so maybe that was part of it. Um, but the vast majority never did anything. But the what's it called? The thing that he concentrates on is using some of those like little aphorisms that like sticks and stones may break my bones, um, but words will never hurt me. And he flips it. And that's one of the things he does at the very end to make it very obvious what it is that this particular piece is about. Um, that the trauma that we experience is not necessarily from um, the physical punishments that he received, but from the emotional punishments that he received, that were unfair, that were untrue, and that were essentially an exploitation of trust. I mean, that's what he says. He says abuse is an exploitation of trust and an exploitation of authority. And I was lucky enough never to suffer from that or from any violation of cruelty, real or imagined. Um, he was never felt bad for being struck for doing things that he should not have done. What he felt bad about was getting blamed for things that were not his fault. Um, and that's what causes hysteria, madness, and stupidity in almost everybody. Um, so some of the things that he did build up those bigger points. He does leave out things on purpose from time to time. I'm trying to think where one of those sections was. Um, Oh, like in the middle, you might say, like when he said, I don't recall the pains of toothache, a thrashed backside, broken bones, stubbed toes, gashed knees, or twisted ankles. I recall the pains of loneliness, boredom, abandonment, humiliation, rejection, and fear. So he's also using a lot of contrast there to like talk about the difference between the physical and the mental. And that's the thing that I think is what you should pull from this more than anything, the ability to use contrast to examine the differences that he's trying to point out. All right. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you all have a good day. Bye now.